Hello everyone, welcome back to Susie Saves. I am Susie and we are going to go ahead and budget for this week. If you're new here, hello, welcome on in. My name is Susie. We are a dual income household. We do a zero-based budgeting method and we also do cash stuffing. So we get paid weekly, or rather I do. My husband gets paid bi-weekly, but I split his paychecks in half. And we budget weekly, which might sound really chaotic for some people, but it's what we need to do to make sure we know where our money is going. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into it. It is May, welcome. Actually, it's like the end of May, but let's begin. So I worked a full week last week in my 9 to 5. My husband is salary, so he gets the same amount every week regardless. I made $790. My husband made $950. So this gives us $1,740 to budget with this week. We'll go down to expenses. We have quite a few. So we have our non-variable expenses, which is rent and internet. These come out the same amount, we hope, every month. Internet tends to like to creep up slowly, so you kind of have to keep an eye on it. But our rent is the same amount every month. So we know the numbers for those. Next is our variable expenses. These are groceries, gas, because the price changes all the time, and then miscellaneous in case of something popping up that you need some money for, that you maybe didn't know was happening or forgot about, right? For us, it's just the two of us, so we find that $60 a week is enough for groceries. Gas, each of us gets $50 a week, which is $100, and then the miscellaneous for just in case is $30. After that, we have subscriptions. When my husband started his job, he asked for YouTube Premium. That got $5, and then I have a gym membership for $5. Once my husband started his job, we also delegated ourselves with spending money. So I and my husband both have spending money. And we decided that amount would be $50 a week. This is just what works for us. It takes a lot of trial and error to know exactly how much you should be putting towards different aspects of your life, but I highly encourage you to always look over your budget and change it if it's not working for you. And next is we have sinking funds. We have 6 sinking funds. I would recommend starting with 1 or 2. This is after a year and a half, so I've been growing it slowly. But we have car maintenance. Sometimes you don't know what funds you need until you need them. So, car insurance, phone bill, pets, gifts, and health. For our car maintenance fund, it is up really high right now. It's at $500, which is perfect. So I'm just going to continue to put in our normal $10. For car insurance and phone bill, they are both $650 a year. This is on my family's plan. This is my portion of my family's plan. My husband's family has not reached out to him about paying this. I would like to have that conversation soon, just to make sure there's no tension there, but as for right now, we're only paying my portion of my bill for my family. Pets gets $10. This is for cat food, flea medicine, vet visits. We have lizards, so they also need lights and food. Gifts is actually getting a lot of money. It is getting $260 because we have just been invited to one of our friends' college graduation parties. And we sat down and looked over the numbers and decided how much we wanted to give them. So that's going to come out this week. Even though that party isn't until June, I wanted to make sure we had that money in hand when the time comes. And then health is getting $10. This could be, last week I used it for a haircut, but this can be for a lot of different things. If we needed medications or if there was an appointment or anything, copays, stuff like that, can't spell health, that would come out of there. So that brings this category up to $316 for this week, which is high. We do not have any debt, so we do not need to worry about any kind of debt payments or payoffs or anything like that. So this leaves us with, oops, am I doing this right? Yeah, I think that's right. Hopefully it's right. $901. Is that right? I think that's right. Let me do it one more time. Minus 523 minus 316. All right. For our zero-based budget. So we have a few sinking savings categories that we put money into. The first one is my checking buffer account. This is really important to have buffer in my checking account because the internet and subscriptions come out of this account and we don't want to overdraw. So very, very important. We also have my and my husband's Roth IRAs. And then we have stocks. And we have our 3 to 6 month emergency fund. So the current contribution limit is $7,000. So each week we can put in $135. Technically, we could front load this and put in the $7,000 immediately, but we don't have that money at the beginning of the year, so we're just going to funnel it in. This is where this gets a little different than our normal weeks because my husband went out to Seattle this past week and he had to use the card connected to this emergency fund to pay for that experience. And so we ended up putting in, is that? Yeah. An extra $500 into that account to make sure that all of his accommodations were paid for. The hotel when he got there was paid for by his employer, but then asked him to put a deposit down of $700. So that was obviously a lot to ask all of a sudden, but he did have this card attached to this fund, so he was able to work around that. But I went ahead and I put $525 onto there just to get him through those days. And we'll be reimbursed for all of that later. We haven't been reimbursed yet, but we'll be submitting expense reports this week and try to be getting some of that money back. It's not too much, but it is probably $350, so we'll see. So that leaves us with $106 to put towards our ETF, our emergency fund. I'm going to go ahead and round that, forgot to do that, and put that last remaining dollar into the buffer account. There we have it. This is the budget for this week. It was crazy. Totally understand it was crazy. But we hope to get kind of back into it next week. Now that all of my husband's travel is over, we'll submit those expense reports. I do know they can take up to like a month to fully verify everything and get that money back to us. But it will help towards our emergency fund, which is still very growing. So we just have to kind of wait and see. If you're interested in the cash stuffing for this budget, it'll come out on Sunday. If you're interested in our Roth IRAs and stocks, we do a Transfer Tuesday video. This is not financial advice. It's simply for accountability, and I think it's kind of neat to see where people put their money. But other than that, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day, everyone.